Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Naqi, Hyder, Rizv. Toastmaster Naqi, Hyder, Rizv. Contestant number 4.
Do you have a place that you can call home? Do you feel thankful for what you've been blessed with? Mr. Contest Chair, honorable judges, my target speaker, Abu Anas Suleiman, and all you people with permanent homes, good morning. Today, I was enthralled and enlightened by something perhaps that I think of all the time, but that I always tend to take for granted. Thank you, Abu Anas, for shedding light on this thing. When you talk to us about the story, about your story, and about Yasser's, and you drew, or you talked about the antithesis, which is the opposite of what you were trying to convey, I think it had a very powerful impact. Because when you talk about something that is the opposite of your message, it really shows the person, or it really makes the contrast more stark so that people can understand what really the crux of the message is. So well done there, and especially accompanied with that was the use of humor and rhetorical devices. Because when you use humor in your speech, you know that the audience is with you. When you ask them closed-ended or rhetorical questions, you wake them up if they're sleeping. The other great thing which I found in your speech was the way you drove your message across. You did not just give it to us. You started from here, took us through the desert, through the journey, and then to what your message at the end was. And that's a brilliant way of keeping the audience connected to your speech. Now, you are a great speaker. Let me just talk about that icing on the cake. Perhaps that can make that speech from great to even greater. The first thing, when you were talking, I was intently listening, and I wanted to know what's next. When he said back to you, I just felt, hey, it was too abrupt. Perhaps you could have drawn that same thing from where you started, and after that, finished the loop and showed us what exactly you were hitting on. The second thing was the topic. Generally, it's always nice to have positivity in the audience. So instead of saying suffering of the vagabond, perhaps blessing of having a permanent home. And the last, but the most important, that story about Yasser was so touching, so powerful, and so impactful. Perhaps if you could talk about what impact it had on you. So that business trip, so-called business trip to Thailand, changed your view of the world and made you realize what it feels to have a permanent home. All in all, I was impressed, and I thank you for making all of us here realize the blessing for things that we often take for granted. Back to you.